Good morning, Team Tally Ho. I hope you're well today. It's good to see you all. It's just a really quick video this morning. I just wanted to have a quick chat with you guys and introduce you to a good friend of mine who was a Battle of Britain pilot, and his name was Bill Green. Now, if you'd have asked me as a child to describe my hero, and as an adult, my perfect mentor, in both cases, I would have described Bill Green. He was an absolute gent. He had led a fascinating life. He was a successful businessman, had experienced true love, and his retirement was longer than his working career. He was just an absolute hero, but he was also a Battle of Britain pilot. So I had the opportunity to meet Bill in 2010, and we struck up a friendship which lasted for the rest of Bill's life, which was just an absolutely incredible privilege. Now, the thing about Bill for me is I was in a position where not only did I get to meet my hero, but I got to get to know him really well. And the sort of fear sometimes is, oh man, will they live up to these expectations that I sort of set for them? And Bill Green just surpassed them, absolutely exceeded them. He was an absolute gent. And it's just made me think about the importance of identifying heroes or mentors in life, and what we can actually get for them. To identify someone that you really respect, and you think, actually, they're doing something that I want to do, or they can perhaps help me and sort of guide me. And it's actually really important to surround yourself with positive people. And if you can, positive mentors that can help you out and help you in your journey, as no doubt someone has helped them in their journey as well. So for me, Bill was my mentor. He was a good friend, he was my hero, but he was my mentor. And I didn't realise that at the time, but now I look back and reflect upon our relationship, I learned so much from this man. So I would go and visit Bill, and I would be clean shaven, smart and well rested. And for those who know me, I'm never clean shaven, smart or well rested, but Bill just brought the best out of me. He just made me want to be the best version of myself. He was a real positive influence to be around. And I think you need these positive influences in life. You need to surround yourself with the right sort of people that can inspire you, people that can help you move forward. So, he was an absolute hero. So Bill Green was a Battle of Britain pilot. And his sort of claim to fame, or his niche within the Battle of Britain, he was one of the most inexperienced pilots who flew and fought in the Battle of Britain. Now, sometimes you're sort of Douglas Baaders, you're Bob Stanford Tucks, all these experienced pilots, they grab the headlines, but you can never underestimate what it would have taken for an inexperienced pilot to join the battle. So Bill had just 7 hours experience on his Hurricane before entering the Battle of Britain. Now, he once said to me, imagine you've passed your driving test in the morning. I was like, okay. And he said, imagine being told that by the end of that same day, you're going to be entered into a Formula One race. So you're going to be driving the quickest, most up-to-date car there is. He's like, how daunting would that be? And I'd be, absolutely pretty daunting. Imagine the person you're racing against is an extremely experienced driver, as the pilots were that he flew against. And instead of being 2 dimensions around a track, it's in 3 dimensions around the sky, and it's to the death. And he said, that's how I felt when I entered the Battle of Britain. And you just think, oh my God, like, you just can't underestimate what courage they would have summoned to do this. Now, very, very briefly, Bill's involvement in the Battle of Britain lasted for 9 days. And on the 29th of August 1940, which was really in the height of the Battle of Britain, he and 9 other Hurricanes, so 10 in total, were scrambled to meet a force of some 200 German aircraft, so odds of 20 to 1. Now, they were scanning the skies looking for these aircraft. They couldn't see them anywhere. And before he knew it, Bill's windscreen literally just shattered in front of him. And he'd been hit badly. He didn't even see the aircraft that attacked him. His Hurricane was in a really bad way. Perspex was whizzing all around the cockpit from the canopy. Bill was shot in the knee, and he knew he had to get out. So Bill pulled the canopy back, bowed out, found it really easy to bail out, and he was out in the air. He was falling to the ground, wind was rushing around him, and Bill took the moment to take a breath and pull the ripcord of his parachute. It's the moment all pilots fear, is the parachute going to open? I hope it does. Pulled his ripcord, the chute deploys, but was damaged in the attack that hit his aircraft and doesn't deploy properly and ends up wrapping round his body like a shroud. So Bill's now falling to earth, wrapped in a parachute, and he begins to fight. He's pulling and struggling and pushing this parachute off the deer. He's like, come on, just get off. But it wouldn't move. So he's falling from 20,000 feet to 15,000 feet to 12,000 feet, struggling all the time trying to get the parachute off. And then he starts thinking about his own end through the thoughts of his wife Bertha. And he started thinking, I wonder what Bertha thought that I was thinking as I was falling to the ground. And that's how he was processing this information. When he jumped out of his aircraft, his flying boots had come clean off his feet and whizzed past either ear. And he could see the socks that Bertha had just knitted for him on his feet. He thought, God, I'm in trouble now. But he had to keep struggling. He had to keep fighting. 12,000 feet, 10,000 feet, 8,000 feet, 5,000 feet. And he just can't get his parachute. Bill's falling to earth at 200 miles an hour. And the situation's looking dire. And he has to accept, this isn't the best situation I've ever been in. I might struggle here. And 5,000 feet, 4, 3, 2, 1, 500 feet, 400 feet. And at 300 feet, which is half of 1 second from hitting the ground, a random gust of wind got under one of the flaps in Bill's parachute, and his parachute opened. Half of a second of free fall before hitting the ground. And he said the silence that hit him in that moment had more impact on his life than any noise he's ever heard. You think of the carnage, the wind rushing, and then all of a sudden, silence, and he was down. And that signalled the end of a 9-day involvement in the Battle of Britain for this inexperienced pilot who was there, who had already been shot down once and crash landed at RAF Hawkinge, who was, yet despite he was inexperienced, he was still there, he was still doing his duty, he still had the courage and the willingness to put himself in that position. And you should never forget that, we should never forget that. So I learned so many things from Bill, the real sense of duty, a real sense of like the courage to rise up against these challenges that we all have in life. And when you see the example of someone who can rise up to that and still manage to sort of perform, it does inspire me to think, whatever it is put in front of me, I can do it. Summon that courage within, let it turn to confidence, and achieve anything you want to achieve. And I take that from Bill Green. He was my friend, my hero, my mentor. And man, I absolutely love him. It was a complete privilege. So I can't even begin to do these videos on YouTube without introducing you to the man without whom I wouldn't be doing any of this. His insight and his inspiration was everything. So there you go. Great to talk to you guys this morning, and a really brief introduction to my hero, Bill Green. Thank you.